Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. The beautiful soul Anne Grant left me a comment in my previous video asking me what is shadow work. And considering I'm in the midst of deep shadow work right now, no better time than to describe, explain, and give my view on what is shadow work. What's it about? Why do we do it? And you know, there's lots of information about shadow work out there. And truly, your shadow work will be your own way of facing your fear. So that is why we have the very beautiful and daunting presence of Kali Ma here today. Because Kali is the goddess of destruction, the death, birth, death, or the life cycle. And you can see she has the skulls. She's wearing them like a necklace around her neck there. And her middle eye is wide open. And I thought that she was especially appropriate for the theme of shadow work today. So shadow work is different ways that you are willing and open to go deep into your superconscious, deep into your deeper thoughts, your deeper choices in your life, and to be willing to unravel your fears, your insecurities, whatever is holding you back, the choices that you made that you regret, the relationships that caused you damage, karmic ties. Perhaps you have a family member who has brought you tremendous ancestral wounding and trauma bonding. These are all ways that our soul and the universe gets us to delve into the shadow and to begin our shadow work. I believe we do our shadow work quite unconsciously at times. We are animals in some aspects of our nature, so we have that instinct to lick our wounds, if you will. But as you progress in your spiritual journey, you will be pulled towards different therapeutic activities, techniques, modalities that help you delve deep into your shadow side, your fears, your hidden self, the parts of yourself that you feel are unlovable and unvaluable, that have no value. This is your shadow. This is the part of your psyche that your conscious mind has rejected and has refused and boxed away and stuffed down into your subconscious or superconscious self. These parts of ourselves will resurface, being triggered at various times of our lives. And this is a good thing because we are supposed to investigate and explore why we are rejecting, refusing, and not loving our shadow side. There are hidden gems and treasures, beautiful sparkling gold, buried deep in the shadow self. When you're able to honestly squarely face that big scary shadow that's in your face and that's blazing at you, when you can be unflinchingly sincere with yourself, with your heart, and with your choices, you will unearth the gold in the shadow. And gold represents light, it represents the sun, it shines, it's bright, it's abundance, it's resourceful, it gives back to you. And that's why I've possibly been given these images right now. As you know, none of my work is scripted. This is all off the cuff. The angels, my spirit guides, nudge me until I put the camera on and record, and then I channel. So you are meant to be hearing this message. If you're here, this is timeless. This is for you. If you're attracted to this information and if this resonates, I would say if you're here this far watching this video, you have shadow work to do. This is a sign. This is a symbol. Your shadow side is tugging at you like a little child saying, please pay attention to me. I need you to acknowledge me and heal me and validate me. So how do we do shadow work? Like I said, it's very personal, it's very individual. Lots of meditation. Meditation will help you drop down into those deep caverns, those deep tombs that feel like the blackest of the black, the darkest places in your psyche. So that's why I recommend meditation. And as a meditation teacher, I know the benefits of meditation, not only in my own life, but in my clients. It really is transformative. But like anything, it needs to be consistent and it needs to be practiced daily. Other ways are simply sitting in the stillness and allowing yourself to go into your body, into your bodily awareness. Because the body has infinite intelligence in your cells, asking the body, where is my shadow? Where in my body am I carrying this fear, this uneasiness? Where is this niggle located in my body? And going into your body and actually being present and sitting with that niggle and allowing yourself to access and to activate the niggle and listening, paying great attention to what that niggle has to say to you. Listening to our body's reactions to our choices and our decisions is instant, intuitive feedback. So take a deep breath and let that sink in. Breath work is a great way to access your shadow self, trapped emotions, unreleased, suppressed feelings. All these things, when they get buried and pushed down, sink deep down into the shadow side of yourself. If they are left invisible, unattended to, over time, they can manifest into your aura, into your energy field, and then eventually, as time passes, drop into the physical body and manifest as dis-ease. Because the lack of ease is preventing the flow of chi or energy through your system, through your body, through your chakras. And when that is left go on chronically, over time that can develop into serious illness. So it is better to, I always say to clients, the fresher the wound tended to, the better. The quicker we can be honest with ourselves about this uneasiness, this niggle, this discomfort in our choices or in our decisions, the sooner we can heal that wound and we can free up space and energy in our bodies for our lives to move forward. When we have ignored a niggle or uneasiness, or perhaps we unconsciously made a wrong turn on our life path and have ended up somewhere that is not supporting us, that is not nourishing our soul's ideals, we will often feel this surge of a need to purge. That is the major spiritual change that will cause you to stop running from your fears, to stop running from the inevitable disruption that is necessary for you to face your fear, to face the biggest thing that frightens you, and actually to take action on those changes. So I would say shadow work starts within. It starts with great awareness. You have to be willing to have the courage to drop into your body, to access your superconscious mind and really listen to the guidance. A lot of the time, the intuitive guidance will make no sense in your physical life. So just listen to that again. Many times, the actual direct guidance will it will look senseless, or it will look like it's out of the blue. And to other people looking at you make that choice, it will look crazy. Like, why are you leaving your husband of 50 years? You know, Ian Levincent left a partner of 14 years. And she said that many people thought it was crazy at her age to be leaving someone she's been with and built a life with for 14 years. But she knew that was part of her shadow, that she had to accept the fact that he wasn't able to love her the way she needed and wanted to be loved. So she had to actually look at that shadow and release it and take the action necessary, regardless of what society or outside people's opinions were making that move. So, you know, the deepest intuitive guidance, and very much to ourselves. There's times I have been guided to do things that my physical conscious mind is saying, what are you doing? This is crazy. Why on earth are you making that decision to walk away from that job, or to move from this beautiful house, or whatever it is? But when I don't follow that guidance, I suffer. And I'm only delaying the inevitable because I am someone who, for the most part, is very tuned into that guidance. So it takes a lot for me to disconnect from that, but it's part of everybody's physical journey here, that at times it's like life will put the blindfold on you, or you'll put the blindfold unconsciously on yourself, and you will make unwise decisions, or you will fall in love with somebody who doesn't know how to love you the way you want or need to be loved. Or perhaps you will stay in contact with a friendship, a friend or a family member that is narcissistic and abusive. And you just didn't have the consciousness up to this moment to actually realize that you have the choice and the freedom to walk away. So when we've done the inner work and we've dropped within and we've felt the feelings and we've cried out the pain, then there comes a stage where it's time to take action, and it's time to move, and it's time to put the path that went wonky, to actually reroute, to do a U-turn, and to get back on the right divine path for you. And this is where the disruption of the shadow, chaos, this is the Tower card in the tarot deck. The Tower card is the Tower of Babylon, everything crashing and burning to the ground. A lot of people say the Tower card looks a lot like the Twin Towers when that horrific tragedy happened, because there's in the Tower card there's people falling to the ground. And when you're doing a reading and you get the Tower card, you can expect unwelcome change that is frightening, change that is uncomfortable and inconvenient, and it's going to rattle your spirit bones and shake up the ground beneath your feet. But that's what the shadow is supposed to do. That is what is the catalyst to get you moving into the life that is right by divine design. So I hope this gives you some clearer idea about what I'm talking about when I refer to shadow work. When we go to a healer, a shaman, to work out pain and chaos in our lives, we are doing our shadow work. This is a great time to book in with a healer, to have a coaching session, to be willing to explore with a therapist what is causing you that niggle, that discomfort, that dis-ease in the flow of your energy. What situations in your life are causing you disruption, are causing you discomfort, and are affecting the flow of the chi through your chakras, through your body, through your thoughts. If you're waking up during the night in a sweat, having anxiety, this is the shadow calling you, saying, tend to me, heal me, look at me, feel me. I want to be loved as well. It's like that bold inner child that doesn't care about the rules, doesn't care what your mother or father thinks, but knows that its freedom is being impinged upon and knows that there's a better way to be in the world, and it's having a tantrum. And you can smother that child for so long, but eventually the bones and the ghost of that child resurface and will tap you on the shoulder or call your name at night, causing you to wake up with those anxiety attacks because you're not paying attention. Anxiety, when a client comes to me with anxiety, it's always suppressed fears. It's suppressed insecurities and suppressed deep inner knowing that you are not accepting, that you are not embracing. It's truths that are being denied. And Kali Ma comes up to help us embrace the death of those niggles and anxieties and panic attacks, and to make peace with our truth. Shadow work can take time. In fact, it often takes a lot longer than we would like it to. It's not a linear process. It's not something you can say, right, do this, this, and this, and in 3 weeks, you'll be back to normal and your life will be fine, because that's not the point. You're not supposed to get back to normal. You're not supposed to be fine. You're supposed to be totally disrupted and all over the place, because the neat little convenient life that your ego had planned for you is not working. It's not serving you, and you know it. Deep down, you know it's true. So let the chaos roll on. Let the tower crumble to the ground. Destruction is part of creating something fresh and new. We have to be willing to allow destruction and death to happen in order to allow in the new life, the new energy, the new frequency. And you can see this in people who become parents, face that squarely. They have to be willing to allow the death of their younger, freer life in order to make space for this new way of being, this new responsible role as a parent, in their new existence, in their new life, a new chapter. Shadow work takes as long as it takes. And I often say that to clients. They say, how long will this take? I say, it takes as long as it takes. It's all individual. It depends on how long, how deep, how attached you are to the trauma, how attached you are to resisting the healing or resisting the facing of those feelings. There's people who can come and have had a trauma for 20 years and in 5 minutes we can clear it. But those people were ready. They were willing. They were open. Even though they were scared, they had courage and they had confidence in me as the healer, and they had confidence in God who's flowing through and creating the whole healing experience. We have to be willing to look at the parts of ourselves we think are unlovable, the parts of ourselves that we're embarrassed or ashamed to say out loud. Perhaps we need to confess something to somebody, and this is part of your shadow work. So confessing, apologizing, reaching out. I work with people in recovery from addiction, alcohol, drug abuse, substance abuse. And a big part of their recovery is shadow work, owning their trials and tribulations and owning the mistakes they made and apologizing and being open to receiving forgiveness and to forgiving themselves for not being self-loving and making those choices that were not loving. So that's part of shadow work too. It's like dropping down into the basement of your soul and looking at all the junk that has piled up there, and that's blocking you from having that as a beautiful space, a space and a place that in your consciousness you can place beautiful things that actually connect with you, turning it into a clean space that feels natural and feels good. I feel if you're here watching this video, you most likely have some shadow work. Some of us have bigger shadows at the moment to face than others. It doesn't matter, because peppered throughout life, our shadow will rise its head when it's time to clean out the closet, to clean out that basement. The important thing is that you do the work and that you feel the feelings, that you actually allow yourself to fully feel and transform those emotions that are holding you back. That's the key. The actions will flow from that. When you get back into alignment and you take back your power, your actions will naturally line up and be inspired by your soul, because you've done the cleaning, you've tended to your vibrational garden. I send you blessings throughout your shadow work. I also send you the absolute light of Kali Ma, who is here to help you embrace the death of a part of your life, of the pain, of the suffering, so that you can make space for rebirth. If you found this video interesting, if you have any questions about shadow work, please leave them in the comments below and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much.